Hello everyone, welcome to Vicar David's 60-second slot, the second in this series in Lent, where we're looking at some of the sayings that Jesus uses in the Beatitudes. I once heard of a school who had, as one of their prizes at the annual Thanksgiving ceremony, a prize for the most unassuming child. The most unassuming child. I'm not sure there'd be many parents that would particularly wish to have that accolade on their mantelpiece, because unassuming means kind of it doesn't mean sort of a generosity or looking after other people. It means sort of just a kind of reticence or hanging back or diffidence and not putting yourself not forward, not sort of like being active and taking part in things. Well, last week we looked at the phrase blessed are those who are spiritually poor, and thought about how it actually really means people who, as it says in some translations of the Bible, know their need of God. And I thought this week we'd look at one other saying of Jesus: blessed are the meek. The meek. Meekness is not something either that I think we would naturally wish to be part of for our children or for ourselves, because meekness is, I think, probably generally understood as that sense of unassumingness, that reticence, that holding back, not really trying or joining in. Meekness is associated with weakness, being weak, but it won't surprise you that I don't think that that's really what the saying is about. It doesn't mean blessed are the weak, although in some cases we can see God at work through all kinds of things, and in weakness too. But I think in this case, meekness, M-E-E-K, means something much deeper and richer and perhaps stranger too. I think it has to do with the sense of being spiritually poor, knowing our need of God, because I think a deeper level of understanding what being meek is not putting our own our own sense of our own importance, our own willfulness, our own impulsiveness at the centre of our lives as the directing influence of our lives, but rather, this is the key, being meek in the face of God, being meek in the face of God. And I think that means there's something entirely different, because it means putting aside, having the strength to put aside all our own priorities, our own sense of wanting to be in charge, to control, and to stand at the foot of the cross before Jesus, before God, in a sense of meekness, is to walk, to live our lives walking humbly with God. Being meek in the face of God means listening to God and what he would want us to do, what his priorities are. And here's the thing about this, is that very often that calls not for a submissiveness or weakness or indifference. It actually calls for great strength and great courage and a willingness to face uncomfortable challenges. And of course, when we look around the world this week, we see exactly what that means in the Ukraine, where people are finding the strength within themselves to stand up to evil aggression and thuggishness and bullying, and standing against those forces of destruction. And in that, I believe, are obeying the call of God to put their own comfortableness, their own sense of security to one side. To be meek in the face of God is, in the Ukraine, an act of great strength, of great courage, of great challenge. And it's in standing with those people that I think we take part in being meek before God. And that's in one sense that we know about in our world, but equally it's true of each of us, in each and every one of us in our lives, that if we stand meek before God, then we will be put in situations that we find difficult or uncomfortable or possibly dangerous. But in that strength, in that courage, in that determination to see God's will be done, then I believe we can see what the Beatitudes tell us will be the reward of that meekness, that we shall inherit the earth. And in that courage, we find the strength of God at work in us and through us, in our own individual lives, in our own discipleship, as we stand in meekness before God and in courage in our world. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.